We call the benevolent beings of light, archangels and ascended masters, to guide and inspire us during this forum. Our forum's vision is to bring the understanding, tools, discipline, and support for those seeking to enter the straight and narrow path, the road less traveled, that will lead us along effectively and steadily through the ascension process. Integration of the human experience with our divine origin is moving us full circle to achieve our divine potential. So be it. Amen.
So, chance or choice, the topic of the night. According to Dolores, we chose this. We decided to come here. And the amazing part of it is we knew what was coming. We knew why we came. We knew what we wanted to learn. We came in fully knowledgeable of our past. This isn't something that we didn't know about and then come in here and have this lack of understanding of what we're doing here and why it's so crazy here. We did know. And if you just look at it without really deep thought, you might get a little aggravated like I used to. And I said to myself, so what's the sense of not knowing? If I knew, I could carry on from where I was. But like everything else, spontaneity is the most important way to move forward. If you already know a lot and you're not going to concentrate on the things that you don't want to deal with, the things you came in to fix in you, to finish off, to not carry with you any further. So you chose to be here, just like I did. And I would imagine that we didn't really know that we were going to lose our memory. I really believe that. But it had to happen that way. And the good part is when you are just without any plan, and that's really how we're working here. We just let our life unfold. Most of us fight it because we try to control what happens in our life, and that makes life very difficult. But as we learn to just be, to stop trying so hard to be spiritual, because we can't be anything but that. It appears that we're human beings and that's it. But we're actually spiritual beings in a human body and having a human experience. I've been saying lately, I feel like I'm under so much pressure. My body feels so heavy and dense. And it's because as you're moving up in your spiritual awareness and you're raising the frequency on a soul level, your body does become more of a burden in a sense, where you really feel it dragging you down. You feel the pain in your muscles. You say, oh, I'm just getting old. Well, no, that's not true. It's that your body is trying to catch up on the frequency level that your soul has moved to. And that is quite a difference, believe me. And so, speaking about the body, it's so important for us to realize, to be gentle, and to recognize our bodies are struggling, really struggling right now. And it's not going to get easier either. We're going to feel it. We're going to feel the changes until we work out whatever blocks that we still have within our fields and within our bodies. And once we let those blocks out, everything in the body gets more light, and it can very beautifully raise up in frequency at a vibrational frequency where we become almost like people will look at us and there'll be so much light around us because they won't really see the physical as much as they'll see the light that's in your fields. So choosing to be here, I want to congratulate each one of you, because it took a lot of courage to step into this body, losing everything that you had and starting fresh, to get to the point where you realize, if I could just be in the moment that I'm in, it'll be so much easier for me to operate here. It's when I'm thinking about what I'm going to do next month, next year, what I want to accomplish as my life's journey. That's when our minds become cluttered, because there's so much work to be done in the holy moment, so much energy that is coming at us, so much feelings that we have to process, that when our minds are taking us elsewhere, it's not benefiting us. It's setting us back. It's making it more complex. Those of you that are working still out in the world, I know you're feeling it. I know you're feeling it. You really want to just be, but your work has got to be done. But most that speak to me talk about the fact that they feel like they really are getting finished with the 3D drama, and they want to step away from it enough where they can just be, just feel, practice being still, getting in touch with our emotions and those things that still trouble us, the judgments that still come up. When it's said in the film that when you judge others, that you're really judging yourself, it isn't a cliche, it's the truth. Because if you really do believe that everything is one, everyone is one, that we're all one, then when you talk about another person, it's an aspect of yourself you haven't come to terms with. You haven't come to love or work out whatever it is that is troubling you. I witnessed it today in a man that was at my house. Miserable, literally miserable. Everything was touching him off, and he was not himself at all. So I prayed for him after he left. He's going through the change, and he's trying to fight it and trying to figure it out at the same time. He doesn't even know what's going on, and he's not the type that I can explain it to. Don't fight it. Just go with it. Whatever's happening, just go with it. Your higher self is guiding you, showing you what you need to decide on so that you can move forward gracefully and beautifully. The world isn't going to wait for you. This is something you have to get onto. And somebody said to me today, oh, but I have this going on and that going on and this one and that one. I said, yeah, that's theirs. That's their stuff. And what's going on in you? And the person explained what was going on in them. And I said, what is the difference between what you saw and what you're feeling? A great light went off in that person's head. Do you see? We're seeing ourselves in the mirrors of other people's fields. We think we're looking at someone else. We're seeing ourselves. And there's always going to be people that we come across that isn't going to make us feel too good. Bless them and love them. Deal with how you feel inside. If it makes you sad, cry. You're really crying for yourself. If it makes you happy, embrace it. In these days, we have to be aware, have to live very consciously. Don't miss the opportunities that are right in front of you. The people you're with, the love that you feel with each other, or whatever comes up. You don't want to miss any more opportunities. They're very, very crucial right now. And in one day, you can lift octaves if you really lived consciously and paid attention to what's going on inside. Inside, outside, it's just all a mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. There I am, holy crow. And other times we go, wow, wow, is that really me? For those of you that regret the choices that you made, my idea about that is this. Don't regret anything that's happened in your life. Nothing. These so-called mistakes gave you opportunities to see things in a different light. Those moments when everything goes wrong, just forgive yourself. It isn't going wrong. It's showing you something. Is it that we can't bring ourselves to concentrate? Is it that we're distracting ourselves or somebody's distracting us? Is it because we're not interested in what we're doing? Ask yourself the vital questions. You'll get the answers. And then deal with it. Deal with it. Nobody's going to fix you but you. Everybody's trying to fix themselves or not. Nobody has to do anything. They don't. We always say they've got to see the truth. They've got to see it. Well, no, they don't, unless they choose to. Not everybody's as brave as we are. Not everybody has the same plan written out for themselves. This journey that we're on. Not everybody wants to deal with the same things that we do because it's not in their plan. We're all on our own path. And as we walk this path, we end up coming together in the end because we've helped each other to get over the blocks, the fears, the trials and tribulations. Remember, there's always going to be the agitators and those that came to be comforters. There's always going to be. And you're going to serve in different areas too. You're not always going to be the comforter. Sometimes you're going to be the one to kick butt, to get somebody going, to activate them, to trigger them, to be impeccably honest with them, even if it isn't the nicest thing. It takes guts to do that. But if you feel the urge to say something and that nobody else has the courage to say, try to deliver it as kindly as you can. But if it just comes spewing out of your mouth, then let it be. Let it be. We're working with each other. We're pushing each other's buttons. And we're also there to help somebody beyond a place where they just don't know what to do next. Somebody had asked me, well, if I'm going to be with people and I can be helpful, I don't know everything. What would I say to them? And my answer is God, your higher self, is going to bring people to you that have similar experiences that you've already experienced. And you can tell them how you work through it. You don't have to be a rocket scientist or have a degree in psychology. Just speak from your heart. You'll sense what you need to say. Treat others like you wish that people had treated us along the road. Be the one that's brave enough to step up when you're called to. It's so important for us to live our life as ourself, not being who somebody else you think they want you to be, or to act like somebody else. Be you. When you are yourself, you're in your power. You're in a place that nobody else can be because somebody else isn't you. Yes, people say that it's a compliment to be like somebody you admire, but make it your own. Move it in a way that is going to be expressed through how you operate. Very important. It'll empower you. You'll feel so strong. You'll get to know yourself better. Because most of us are identifying with our faults, the things we feel we did wrong, the places where we failed to accomplish what we thought we were supposed to. Turn it around and start looking at your life as every step was necessary, and I am grateful that I moved through that. Because look at me now. Look where you've come. You don't think like you did a year ago or even 2 years ago. You're not reacting the way you did in the past. You're a new person, a higher version of yourself. And we'll keep moving in that direction if we choose to. So, was it choice? Yes. What is chance? You know how you say, what's the chances that I found that person in all the people that were in that room? What's the chance? It has nothing to do with chance. It has to do with magnetic energy. That our fields draw people to us that we have contracts with. Everything here, as imperfect as it appears, is perfect. You're not living the same life that others are. Those in third world countries that are hungry, that are under dictatorship, that have no power over themselves at all. That's not you. That's not you. As much as everything's changed, other than the cost of things, our lives are pretty much the same. It hasn't changed that much. Not like it has for others. It's because you're walking on the path. And that path is straight and it's narrow. And when we cross over the boundary of that path, we know it because it'll hit us like a ton of bricks. If we let our frequency drop, and it doesn't have to go too far, we'll start feeling what others are experiencing in 3D right now. You wonder why they chose to be where they are. And it's because they needed those experiences, to tell you the truth. They knew they needed to know what it felt like, what it sounded like, what it smelt like, what my body did when I'm in that circumstance. It's all part of it. And we were there at one time too. I'm just so grateful that we're not there now. So in your choosing to be here, you are being commended by all of those that went before you and did this work. And those great benevolent beings that are watching over us and working with us, they really are rooting us on. You're going to start hearing their voice. You're going to feel their holy presence. You're going to know how far you've come. And as time is speeding up, so will be the process of moving yourself into this great light that you are, magnificent and holy, blessed, powerful, a creator. Yes, we create the good, and we also have created the miscreations of which we see playing out in the world. So every day choose to be who you are, to express that uniqueness that makes you so special, to come to know yourself fully. That's why you're here. What makes me tick? Why do I think like that? Why do I love so much my heart feels like it's going to break? Why do I look into a baby's eyes and I can't stop tearing? Your extrasensory perception is awakening, and you're ready to feel on those levels. Together, we are moving up. We're preparing for the next journey, the next big chapter in our evolution. This is the biggest one yet since we've been on the planet Earth, working through this enormous task of coming to know who you are. Remember, you will have all your gifts open to you. And a lot of your gifts are already open, but you just think it's who you are. I've always been like that. I could figure things out in 3.5. Yeah, that's because your extrasensory perceptions are activated. And there's much more coming. Just keep on the path of the light. Don't let this world come in and steal your joy. That's up to you. Set your intention not to let in all of the noise and drama of 3D. It's not for you. If it was for you, you'd be living it full bore right now. So I can tell you, it's not for you. You don't need to know. All it does is drag you down. That 3.5-minute clip was talking about that. You really don't need to drag that into your world. All it does is lower your frequency. It's like, you know how you lose the same 20 pounds your whole life? Well, it's like with the frequency. We keep going up and then we come down a little and then we go back up the same 20 inches or 20 pounds. Yeah. But in this, it's a lot more important to address keeping our frequency high, because that's how we'll anchor 5D onto the planet. You are the magnets, and you're holding it here. So together, let's keep on the track. We chose to be here. Let's make the best of it. Get through the next few years. They're going to be a little intense, but hey, what else is new? Yeah. But the more light you bring in, the less you're going to feel the impact of that, because you'll rise above it. Literally rise above it. Yeah. You'll be living in a frequency just high enough where you won't be fully impacted by what's going on in the earth. And that I know for sure. So let's see where we're at. Okay. Let's go on to segment 2. I hope you enjoyed this. It was mighty of Christine to get through it. She didn't give up. And those commercials were like, oh, thanks a lot, right? But when they're that long, that's what happens. When they're less than 10 minutes, you don't get all those commercials. So we'll dealt with it. The message was very powerful, so I'm glad we got there. All right. Turn it back over to Janet.
Oh, Barbara, thank you for inspiring us to kick ourselves up a notch. Turn this back to gallery. Christine, I think you can pause the recording now. Please Barbara, can
Okay,
you please have your closing statement?
you got it. Supposed to pin. All right. All right, so chance or choice? Well, I think the consensus was choice with each one of us. And even though we had to work our way to being where we get satisfaction in what we do, every step of the way was important. It led us towards this part of our life, this part where we're able to really desire even to be in our choice of what we want to do, what we want to bring to humanity, to ourselves, to anyone that we're with. It's such a good feeling. Just being the light in the world. And then when we can express it out as our occupation, we just aced it right to the top of the line. Not everybody gets to do that. When you live in your choice, think of it this way. Every moment we're actually making choices. We are. We're choosing to go the highest road or the low road. We're choosing to be patient or not. We're choosing what we're going to say and do to remedy a situation with somebody. We're always making choices. If you simply are on the track of living in the light of love, you will absolutely, undeniably always say and do the right thing for somebody else and yourself. You won't have to worry about, am I going to slip up today? Am I going to mess up? Because you'll be on track. You'll be doing this on a regular basis and retrain yourself to walk that straight and narrow path. It's actually for you that you do it. It's for you to benefit and everyone that's connected to your heart. In these days where the world seems to be splitting into a million pieces, just keep yourself on track. Keep yourself out of the drama so that you can be in your peaceful state in your mind and your heart. Whatever's happening in your life, work out the remedies for it. Don't ignore it or make believe that it'll go away on its own. It's calling you to be standing up and being a master of your own life, to decide what you want for the rest of your days on this earth, in this body. What is it that you are afraid of? Move through it, move past it. God will take care of you. God will always take care of you. You don't have to be afraid because there's nothing to be afraid of. I'm more afraid of not doing what I need to do, being strong when I need to be strong, being gentle when I need to be gentle. What troubles me is when I don't act on something that I know it happened in front of me, it was for me to take care of. We need to stand up, take life, take it into your own hands, and realize nobody's going to save you, fix you, or anybody else in your life. This is all about you. That's how you become a master. You become a master of the dimension that you're living in. You rise above all the traps, all the lies, all the things that would just mess you up really bad. You rise above it, stand tall and strong, and live your life the way you choose to. Choose love in all things, and love will be returned to you. Always. Now, what does that mean? You've got to love yourself enough to do what's right for you. It's very important you remember that. Being loving sometimes isn't so lovable. It can be tough love because that's what's required at certain times. Be strong, my friends. Be strong. Do what you need to do. Create your life into the happiness and joy that you are desiring with all your heart and soul. Make life a pleasure, not a torture. Only you can do this for yourself. Find time for you to do the things that bring you pleasure and joy and are healthy. Remember to smile. Remember to smile at others. And most and foremost, when you speak to someone, look into their eyes. Look directly into their eyes so they know what you say is what you mean, and you mean what you say. People are afraid of and admire strength in the character of a person. You are strong. You are so much stronger than you know. You have to identify with it. You have to own it and then live it. Are you afraid to say what you want or need? Get rid of the fear and do what you need to do. We're walking the straight and narrow every Wednesday. That's what we talk about. How do I do this most effectively and efficiently? How do I move up and out of my past? That's what we talk about. And then we practice it. And then we get another hint the next week. And we practice it. And by golly, you are going to see yourself shine. You're going to see yourself and be so proud how you could stand up to the things that you never could before and say no more if it isn't good and holy and loving. No more. No more putting up with and tolerating. It's over. Absolutely over. Now we're going to walk in our joy. We're not going to hurt anybody doing that. The only person that gets hurt is people living to please everybody but themselves. We all know that feeling. We've all done it before. Compromise. Yeah, there's times we compromise. But that's okay. That's okay. We're learning how to be who we really are, divine beings in a world spinning around us. You have the power. You have the assistance. You have the love. You have everything you need. God is abundance living inside you. Where could poverty be? And if there is poverty, let go of that belief and you'll be free. So, my dear friends, another wonderful evening, living our choice, not being chance. There's no such thing.
We are deeply grateful for this forum. We thank those in attendance for your attention, for your wonderful questions, future topic suggestions, and stories that touched our hearts and opened our minds to new possibilities. Our collective energy has filled this forum with light and love for each other. We are so grateful that each of us brings guides and angelic beings to the forum, raising the frequency even higher. We are grateful for the assistance, inspiration, and guidance from the benevolent beings overseeing the forum. Know we are all deeply loved and richly blessed. Amen.